You grew up in church, there's no way how you can talk about sex. You know, you can't talk about sex at your workplace. You can't talk about sex, but you know, when you actually go out in these spaces, like, you know, you're gonna hear, you know, from freely people are gonna talk about things, probably like that, you know, basketball match or a barber shop, or you know, these conversations are gonna actually happen.
As human beings, we're not made to be on an island by ourselves. We're made to connect with other humans. And when we don't feel that we have a place where we can be vulnerable, where we can show our intimate feelings without being judged, where we can be connected in community, you both use that word, then we're alone, we're on this island, and that doesn't bring any kind of emotional health at all.
Space like Onyx Barbershop, we have a condom bowl at the front desk. People could just literally, as you're walking in, walking out, you could just grab a condom. I don't see many places where you just have access to it. Well, I don't know how much condoms cost nowadays, but yeah, you could just grab one for free right at the front desk.
Let them judge me if they're going to judge me. I don't care, because I know that the people who love me are not going to judge me. I know that the people who are in my community, who I'm connected with, they're going to still accept me. Earlier I said that all emotions have a function. Shame is the only negative emotion that has no real function except to make us feel like we're no good.
This is everyone's world, but this is a man's world. Do you ever wonder what conversations are had in the barbershop? Especially when the cape goes on and the clippers come out, the hot takes. I am giving you the inside scoop. On this episode of After Dark Chat, let's get real with our man. From your standpoint as a black man, immigrant as well, here in this space, given the pressures that Stévia spoke of, how do you think we can support each other? Or what does support look like for an individual who is considered a black man and also an immigrant in Canada?
Yeah, so that begins with ourselves to look up for each other, just the way we are here, you know. This is like a piece of learning. This is really a piece of learning, and I like it. So we shouldn't fear to open up, you know. And then also, if you know services that, you know, you could recommend to your, you know, your fellow black men, talk about it. Like, for example, the things that you've talked about, like, I probably didn't know that they happen, you know. And I think probably that's a normal way of living a life as a black man, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, with all the stereotyping, with all, you know, the upbringings, you know, that drives us far away from, you know, the services, you know, yet they're in place. As you said, you know, probably you think it's supposed to be like that. You think, you know, going to the gym that's all. You think that's all you're gonna live at. But then if you access services, you know, like go out to, you know, to a community, like a barber shop, you know, talk to somebody, because if you don't, then the support may not be gotten. I mean, like, no one is gonna think about you if you don't mention about it.
Yeah. And that community support is actually so important, right? Like, we don't even think of it, but like, I have a group. We do fitness together, and some of the things that will come out there are things that you don't really share anywhere else, right? But like, you got a community of people that have the same lived experience as you, and you're in a space that you can get it all out, but now you use that as also a space for kind of like an unofficial therapy. Now you can talk about the things that impact you as a group. Now you can talk about those things, and then in a safer space, because you know it's like people who have similar experiences. So that does really important too.
That's very important, actually, like the safe spaces for black men, you know, like, because you may find, like, as you say, you grew up in church, there's no way how you can talk about sex. You know, you can't talk about sex at your workplace. You can't talk about sex, but you know, when you actually go out in these spaces, like, you know, you're gonna hear, you know, from freely people are gonna talk about things, probably like that, you know, basketball match or a barber shop, or these conversations are going to actually happen. Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you talk about health, I think what both of Stévia and Derrick has said are really talking about connectedness. As human beings, we're not made to be on an island by ourselves. We're made to connect with other humans. And when we don't feel that we have a place where we can be vulnerable, where we can show our intimate feelings without being judged, where we can be connected in community, you both use that word, then we're alone. We're on this island, and that doesn't bring any kind of emotional health at all.
Yeah. So we spoke about the importance of these spaces, these safe spaces, but I want us to kind of zoom in on our health and how we can use these very same spaces to advocate for each other's health. What does that really look like, and how can we do that?
I'll give an example. Space like Onyx Barbershop, we have a condom bowl at the front desk where we're promoting safe sex, so people could just literally, as you're walking in, walking out, could just grab a condom. That's I don't see many places where you just have access to it. I don't know how much condoms cost nowadays, but you could just grab one for free right at the front desk.
Yeah, that's a really great initiative, and I think it's a good way really to also advocate for each other's health. And I think it also leads me to my next question, Tony. When it comes to STDs, he just spoke about condoms. When it comes to STDs and STIs, do you think as Black men we speak enough about these issues? And how can we really create safer spaces where we're able to talk about them without making it seem like we are coercing someone to partake of something they don't really want to partake of? The education piece that goes into letting folks know that these diseases, they do exist, and these are ways in which we can protect ourselves.
Well, I think I'd answer that in two parts. The first part is around this idea of community, where if I feel safe enough to disclose something without fear of judgment or rejection or abandonment, then likely the next person is going to feel safe to actually voice their experience as well, and the next person and the next person. If no one ever speaks up and begins that conversation, if no one ever feels that safety, then the conversation will never happen. And once I'm able to do that in a safe place, then it becomes easier for me to go to a place where I don't feel as safe, to just be open and honest and let them judge me if they're going to judge me. I don't care, because I know that the people who love me are not going to judge me. I know that the people who are in my community, who I'm connected with, they're going to still accept me. Yeah. The second part of the response for me is around shame. Earlier I said that all emotions have a function. Shame, and all emotions are positive except for shame. Shame is the only negative emotion that has no real function except to make us feel like we're no good. So if I do something that's bad, or something bad happens to me, if I do something bad, I can say, okay, I was wrong, I can apologize, I can make up for it. If something bad happens to me, I can go get treatment or find a way to resolve it. That's one side. But when shame is involved, shame tells me that I am that condition, that I'm equal to the condition that I have acquired, whether it's an STD or HIV or whatever it is. If I end up doing something violent towards somebody, it's not something wrong that I've done, it's part of me. So once I begin to understand that my actions do not define me, that my conditions do not define me, then the shame around getting help for HIV or for STDs, STIs, or talking about them, that diminishes, and that opens up the conversation a bit.
I agree. Sometimes though, when it comes to having these conversations, we can sound a little preachy, Derrick. Like we're trying to indoctrinate folks, and it's never really the intention, right? But how do you think we can approach our brothers by advocating for their health without sounding too preachy, just ensuring that we're checking for each other?
Yeah, I understand that, again, the whole point is opening up, or coming up with a conversation. It's pretty not very easy. And at the end of the day, you may need to find a very comfortable way of talking about something. But I believe, coming to spaces where services are, for example, there's a condom box you know, like there's a condom box outside this barber shop, you know, and it doesn't hurt actually to pick one. You know, as we get out, I can pick two and I give you one, you know, like, but I'm gonna need it. Like it's up to you to use it or no, but I mean, like, the services are there, and it's really good actually to know them. You know, for example, if I see a flyer talking about probably HIV testing, it doesn't bother me to carry it. I'll show it to you, like, hey, by the way, I think I need to go have my blood tested, you know, I need to know my status. And then, you know, that way, bringing it up, and I don't think I'm gonna feel bad if you show it to me, like it's in the community. I mean, like, I can see it. And also, I think places like barbershop would allow, you know, service organizations to, you know, bring their flyers, you know, put them out where, you know, especially like where black men are, you know, could be even at the club. Could be even like, if, you know, these services could allow the community service organizations to put out these flyers, this information. That way it's gonna be very easy. I mean, I may not to come one-on-one to tell you, hey, you need to go have your, you know, blood tested, you know, there's a sexual health clinic, there's this, you know. And probably I may not know myself, but if I go to a barber shop and then I see a flyer on the door or the front desk, you know, I may just take a screenshot or scan the QR code. That way, no one is gonna know.
You know what? I piggyback on this point. I agree a lot. I think if you work in any profession or industry where you build intimate relationship with people, and you care about these things, that you have to treat it as your responsibility to want to educate and open that conversation with our community, right? Like barbershops, like us barbers. Like I didn't realize until the past year how much influence we could have. You know, you have someone in their chair, we're having great conversation, great rapport, and then, you know, you just strike up a conversation about this, about that. You know, it could have an impact on that person. So
I love that. So, go ahead.
I can just add to that in terms of your question about being preachy. I think the best way to keep someone from hearing what you have to say, especially black men who are brought up to be in control and make their own decisions, the best way to keep someone from hearing what you say is to say, you should be doing this and you must be doing this and you're doing this wrong. But if I share my own experience and what happened to me, how I overcame the fear of going for a test, how it made me relax. If I'm able to share my experience, I'm not judging you, I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just talking about me.